Today I'm going to show you how to start a wood-fired sauna.
So the first thing I have to do is clean out the ashes from the last time I used the sauna. So now that our stove is cleaned out, we're ready to start adding some wood. Now the kind of wood I typically use is I have poplar, and I also will use some oak from time to time, but you don't want to use pine. Pine is not going to go well in your wood-fired stove. Now in the summertime, you're not going to need as many logs to get you started because your base temperature is already close to maybe 60 or 70 degrees. But then as you get into wintertime, it got as cold as -30 here one day in Wisconsin. And I needed to start off with 7 logs, or as many as I could fit in there to kind of get that temperature going right away. Now all I really add to the wood to get things going is some newspaper that's crumpled up and one of these little fire starters. As long as you have dry wood, you shouldn't really have trouble getting it going. When you initially start your sauna, you're going to want to have your flume all the way open and then this gate open as well to allow it to breathe a little bit.
A fire.
You're going to want to leave this bottom gate open for about 3 to 5 minutes as you sit in your sauna to watch, make sure your fire takes off the way you want it to, and then come back in about an hour and check and see where your temperature's at. But if you have an electric sauna or something like that, it might take less amount of time. So if you haven't already, you're going to want to get yourself a sauna thermometer, and the happy zone that you want to be is anywhere between 150 to 210 degrees, depending on your preference of how hot you want your sauna to be and what you can withstand. It's 2:20 right now, so we'll come back in about an hour and check on it and see what our temperature's at. All right, it's 3:20. Let's see where we're at. And so right now we're at 180. It's perfect. So what I'll typically do is about 10 to 15 minute sessions of sitting in here, but it ultimately comes down to listening to your body. If you're first getting into sauning, you're going to want to have that shorter amount of time until you build up a little bit of stamina. But then eventually you can sit in here for a longer period of time, especially if the temperature is a little bit lower at maybe say 160 degrees, you're going to be able to sit in here longer than, let's say, if it was at 200 to 210 degrees. Also, an added thing if you want to do is get yourself a sauna bucket, fill with water, a couple drops of eucalyptus oil, and then you can put that on your rocks. And it's going to get a nice little sizzle, and it's also going to smell great. All right, I hope you enjoy your sauna.